Hello there, welcome to the Proving Grounds. Today, we're probably bearing a game today. Devious Dungeon. What a daring name, trying to take on the Proving Grounds here. But in all seriousness, Devious Dungeon is a game that's physically available for the PS4 and Vita, and digitally available for Steam, PS4, Vita, Switch, and Xbox. It is also apparently on mobile as well, if that's your cup of tea. We are looking at the PS4 version here, which, oddly enough, is still available on PlayAsia, as the physical versions were PlayAsia exclusives, if that's your cup of tea. Now, this game is incredibly simple. You get thrown into a little scenario to go kill a dragon for a king, and you're immediately thrusted into a hub with the king who jokes around, the store who sells you items, and a portal that takes you upon the Devious Dungeon. You'll go through levels. Now, you have little checkpoint gates, so once you get to a certain level, you can shortcut to there, not having to go through all 63 levels of the game. Well, actually, wait, I think it's 65. Because I think there's a few rooms just before between the shortcut gate and the boss room, I believe, actually. So I think it's 65, somewhere around there. Somewhere like 65 or 70 or that, somewhere around now. Somewhere, but the point is, you have a few shortcut gates, and then you'll have a boss, and a few shortcut gates, and another boss. So, you don't immediately lose all progress as long as you can get to one of the shortcut gates. There's nothing fancy when it comes to combat. You can jump, and you can slash. You can move slowly backwards and forward while slashing, and continuing the direction you're slashing while holding the button. So say I want to back way slowly while slashing to my right, you can do that. There are some scenarios where that can be useful, and you can jump while continuously slashing. But you don't get all your momentum. Now, this is a very simplistic game. You do have levels, you do have HP, and money is the game. So the main objective is to just basically get as much money as you can so you can get better equipment, so you can get through the dungeon more easier and get further with every attempt you try to go through the dungeon. Extra ways you can get money versus destroying the things in the environment and killing the mobs you have. You can find that you have a quest log, and then completing the requests, which are slaying certain enemies, and a certain number of them can reward you extra money. And when you die, you will also get extra money depending on how many things you've slain and such, giving you a little bonus. There was actually no penalty for dying. You do not lose money. The only real penalty you have is if you didn't make it to a shortcut gate. To unlock, you, well, have to start at the last shortcut gate you have, or the very first level if you made it to literally none of them. The objective of every non-boss stage is to find a key and then find a door to the next level. Very simplistic, while surviving, obviously, and collecting as much fucking money as you can. Enemies do get changed up a bit as you get further into the dungeons, starting with orcs and dead and getting zombies and wizards and beholders. Nothing too like earth-shadowing, but you're not gonna find too much originality. About the only other thing to really keep an eye out in the dungeon segments is that there can be hidden rooms where you can find more money, and when you level up, you get to pick a stat to increase. But the leveling system isn't really the most in-depth thing. Really, it's just about getting money and grinding for that gear. Better weapons and better armor, and maybe a few accessories to give you a little extra boost on the side. Overall, this is really just a time waster type game. The story's just really just there for the sake of having the story set up. It was nothing interesting, awesome, or anything at all about this game, honestly. probably my biggest complaint with the PS4 version, because, like I said, this is more of a time waster game, so this is actually an excellent game for portability on the Switch and the Vita versus on the console with the PS4, because while initially it can get a little addictive to obviously get into the whole cycle of getting the money, improving your character, going back in the dungeon, getting further, because there's no real loss, no risk, no pressure on you, you're not really that concerned about dying. I mean, essentially, like in the beginning, you could just grind the same boss several times, die in the next stage, and then grind the boss again versus going through the stages. So you have a little variety on whatever you consider quicker. Do you think it's quicker to just refight the boss over and over again for some money that way, go through the stages? But overall, it just really gets old. The levels all randomly generated outside the boss rooms. The boss rooms are all preset and how they are every single time. But there's just not really a lot of variety. It's just very simple. There's not like any complicated platforming puzzles. There's no puzzles. Like I said, the only thing to really find is a few hidden rooms that will give you lots of money, which are actually very good idea to try to find. And they also sometimes have a book that gives you a lot of EXP too, which helps with speeding up leveling up too, because that can take a wheel. Like, this game has a fucking grind when it comes to that. But that's really all that is, just to go through it. If you're a big trophy hunter for the PlayStation or Xbox side of things when it comes to trophies and achievements, this is a very easy platinum or full score board. It's just very simple. There was nothing complicated at all. It's just basically go through the fucking game, basically buying all kinds of shit and stuff and destroying and killing enemies. They're like very simple. Not a single one is fucking complicated to get at all. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. If you have a portable, if you got the Vita or the Switch, and you're looking for something to kill some time, it's a very simple, non-complicated game at all. But I honestly can't really recommend this for consoles, for the Xbox or PS4. Like, seriously, there are way better time waster games that have way more effort put into them than this game does for a console. And more so, if you want a physical version, I'd have to say it's not. Like, I know I'm a very middle of the road kind of guy and try to be pretty fair and look at some of the positives about a game, but oh, this game is, I can't. I mean, it functions. Like the few, and I will talk about the very few oddities that have happened playing the game, which aren't negative, but they are oddities that will, I would assume, not expected to happen. But I mean, it functions and everything, but it just doesn't. It has no wow factor at all. There's nothing of interest, which I'm very sorry to say if the developer was to ever see this. Don't take it as a hate thing. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's way better things. Now, if you get digitally, it is super cheap. On console, well, basically on any of the console handhelds, it's $7.99. Oddly, though, on Steam, it's $4.99. So it's even cheaper for the PC people. But again, you know, there's way more better things you could time waste than this, honestly, on the PC. Plus, I mean, this ain't exactly going to be wowing the PC Master Race, that's for sure. But if you have any vague interest, I definitely would just recommend get digitally, because while the PS4 version is still available on PlayAsia, it is $34.99, and you gotta pay for shipping, of course, for the PS4 version, which is the same original price for the Vita version, I believe. However, the Vita version is sold out, and if you want to get one through third party, let me bring up eBay. I'm kind of fearful of this, because usually non-limited one stuff has ended up being varying prices on eBay. So on eBay, the Vita versions are selling between $50 to $150. And then on PS4, you're looking at about $35 to $50. So actually getting it secondhand might actually be a option, actually. So if you're actually interested in that, that actually could be, they're not super overpriced. They're actually ones that are very close to the original price, but still that is really, hell, even $10. Like this, I've found $10 games have offered so much fucking more than this. I mean, even digitally, like, you know, I have a lot of digital GOG games and Humble Bundle games. There's so much more interesting things you could spend even $10 on, and this is $8 on everything except for Steam. It's $5 on Steam basically, and it just, if you got a handheld device, Switch, Vita, or mobile even, I mean, like I said, it works as a time waster. That's basically the times I played it, but outside of that, it's just not worth it to me. I'm sorry for any of the big Devious Dungeon fans out there, but I feel like it's a waste of your money. And believe me, there's a very few games I've ever really said are a complete waste of your money, honestly. Can't really recommend it outside of handheld stuff for the sole purpose of time waster. As for spoilers, if you cared, which, believe me, you really shouldn't find any reason to really care much of that. But let's go ahead and say we'll go into spoiler territory. So, you're still on the quest to go kill the dragon. You end the quest by fighting a dragon, and then that's it. It's over. You win. No epic stuff. Like I said, the story's basically non-existent. It's just there to give you a setup, and that's really it. It's over, and you can either start a new character or grind out more equipment that you haven't bought. I did not buy all the accessories and weapons. I did buy all the armor. So, I still had things to buy, but obviously once I beat the game, and you got every single trophy, there really ain't anything else to do. There's no replay value aside from doing more of the same garbage to unlock new gear. That's pointless, really, because you've already beaten the game by that point then, so nothing here. Now, this game does have a sequel, and PlayAsia did do a physical version for the Vita only for that, and I don't know if it's any better. It's supposed to have different classes. Well, in this, you have no magic. You're just a melee guy who swings and jumps around. So, someday in the future, we'll talk about the sequel and see if it actually improved a lot of whatever the hell. But yeah, I can't recommend it. Sorry. If you got any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I will get with you. Thank you for checking out the video. Until next time, the Devious Dungeon joins the graveyard of the few games I ever burnt in the sacrificial pits of this graveyard. Enjoy.
どうだった？私の作った朝ごはん。感想だよ。感想。そうか、そう